Hey, it's me. I'm back with a vengeance. I am determined. God, I'm a mess. I'm a determined mess. Jeez Louise. Good Lord, I look bad. Okay, so we were wound up at the beginning there. And boy, did it play out afterwards. I do gotta say, it did play out afterwards. And I hope that everybody can hear me. I'll try and speak up. I tried. Get the door out of there. I'm gonna have to have the door in there. People are just gonna have to knock when they come in my room. That's that. Okay, so I hope I don't get intimidated in here. I'm afraid of this because, you know, it's inside the house. It's different than inside the garage. And I will try to speak the best that I can to where you can hear me. My name is Nanya. Let me turn this up. Hey, hello. I am just trying to get comfortable in my room and reading in my room out loud. That's weird. I feel uncomfortable, real uncomfortable. But I am going to strive through it. I swear I am. I don't care how embarrassed I am. I'm a mess. This book got to me. I've been thinking hard, and my name is Nanya, and I've been going through this. I can't even think anymore. I've been going through this wake up, and I've been reading, and I'm reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And I've been reading it, and last night it brought me back to the beginning. And that's where we left off, was it brought me back to the beginning. But after that, something happened that kind of played into it. And let me get this video up here. Actually, let me get set up here, because I want to see if I can monitor this. I finally got this driver issue taken care of as far as me playing videos. So let me see if I can't find my own stream and get in this sucker and see what I can do and see if I can figure YouTube out real quick, if you don't mind. So I've been working really hard on this computer, trying to get it going so I can record off of it so I can do the subscriber of the day, and that's what I'm going to be doing today in the middle of everything, kind of as a fill-in, go through some things. And right now I'm going to look somebody up who I came across last night, and I'll explain. So this book, I've been reading it, and it has been waking me up ever since. Other books too, other facts that I've heard online. And I get closer and closer to closing this gap so that I'm able to do some powers. You know, I'm ready to do some powers. I want to, but you know, I know that there's this gap in between that kind of prevents you from doing that properly the way you're supposed to. Darn it. History, there it is. Okay. I gotta get used to this stuff. I haven't been on here in a while on this computer. I have, but you know, it's like frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I tend to forget what you're doing whenever you're frustrated. So last night we wound up talking about this Mandela thing in here. And I got to thinking like a kindergartner. What if it has something to do with the Mandela effect? Mandela of peaceful deities. Because whenever the Mandela effect started, that's whenever my mind started gearing up for all this, like opening up. And I got to thinking that maybe it is like a kindergartner, just obviously there, like at first I thought the Mandela effect was bad because it was messing with the Bible, but it was messing with everything. And it still messes with everything to this day. And I don't know what it is, but it is supernatural, whatever it is, because to take your own book, and to change something in your own book that you've had in your hope chest, that's pretty significant. And you know what it is, because you memorized it, you went to church, you memorized it, you went, just about every Sunday, if not more. So you were fed it, you swallowed it all, many times over again, so you know what it was. So I'm reading this book, and we come across, I'm this far away from that, so this is how long it took me to think of this, about this Mandela and peaceful deities. I was like stirring in there, like, wait a minute, So then I finally talked about it last night, and there were some other things. You can watch the video. But it just brought me back to the beginning. Right back to the Mandela effect, square one. Just everything just kind of wound up back to the beginning. So I told myself I would dive back into that rabbit hole last night. So then I get off, I get right off, and I'm cleaning up, and somebody came up live who I seen before, and I thought, well, I ain't got nothing better to do. I'm cleaning, I may as well listen. Find her, darn it. Furor, I think that was her. Let me go to her subscriptions, darn it. Sometimes this history don't pick it up what you're looking for. Let me find her, come on. Sorry. I'm just doing this raw. It's like whenever I've been doing it's been a lot. Been a lot going on, and what? Okay, Fleur Brun, FLEURBRUN, and here, I'm going to take you there. That one right there. Alrighty? That one right there. Now, collapsing timelines. Now that didn't really catch my... Darn it, come on. There we go. It's kind of like one of those things where, your subscribers come up live and you just kind of just click on it. I didn't even look to see what it was, so I'm just listening to it, and she's talking about the Mandela effect, man, and timelines and all that, and I guess that's what it wanted me to know, what it is exactly, what it is. So right now I'm on that that blood trail of collapsing timelines. So I'll figure it out, Don't know much about it. But I don't know what it wants me to see here and the association here of this. I have no idea. But it was kind of... You gotta see that video. It's called... She's in the subscription. She's under FLEURBRUN. It's called Collapsing Timelines. Are you ready? She streamed it 6 hours ago from this point. It is now 4 o'clock, and that's Central Time. So 6 hours ago. And it's about an hour long. It's worth a listen to hear what this woman has to say, and it's worth a listen, it's worth a see, to see the timelines actually happening in this video. You can actually see it happening. It's kind of like what they do whenever they're on TV. You know, that glitch that happens to somebody's face. It's very interesting. So maybe that's, I don't know. So I'm just going to continue on with reading and maybe get shout outs, you know, like to Fleur Brun. That one right there. Fleur Brun. Just so you know what her emblem looks like. I know you can't read it. And I'll keep giving people shout outs along the way. And we'll just start at the beginning here. And whatever floats my fancy. And just gonna get this string going here on this one here. That way I can maneuver if I can find it. And I'm terribly sorry, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go with what you're doing. Because I can't get the live up unless I'm live. So I gotta have you on with me right now in order to get it live. And I'm trying to figure out how I can find the live, so give me a moment. And hopefully I can get this taken care of before anybody jumps in the room. Ah, here we go. Alright. Alright. Hopefully I can get this taken care of before anybody jumps in the room. Ah, here we go. Alright. Okay, now I can see what it's like. Hopefully I can get this taken care of before anybody jumps in the room. Let me turn off the sound. Hey, sorry. I'm trying to get set up here because I'm new to all this. Trying to see how to, I finally got my computer fixed and I got the stream up on here. And I'm just trying to see how to work it. Because I can't do it without it going live. So I figured I'd work on it. Be something I can do in the meantime of reading this book and waiting for people to come in. I'm planning on doing some subscriptions now that I got this going. Now I have that to look at so I can verify what the names are of people. Oh, I can chat there. That's cool. I can finally chat with you. Put in my own chat, that is. Participants, pop out, chat. Manage moderators. There it is. I just kind of fly by night with this stuff. I figure it out as I go along. I apologize, but that's the way I have to do it to get this stuff up. Because otherwise, I can't find it. I'll look it up and I can't find it. I'll go to YouTube help thing and I cannot find it. I can't even find the stupid copyrighted songs most of the time. Which I will do that. I'll try and see if I can find that. That way I can play some music finally. But we are reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And as I was explaining a while ago, we left off with it, with everything going back to the beginning and it going back to the Mandela effect. And it's been a weird road, and Fleur Brun kind of squared things away last night. Right after I got off, I seen her live going, and I got on her live, and it just kind of was connected. She was talking about the different timelines and Are You Ready, and kind of clicked on there, but I didn't even read what it was about. I just clicked on the live. You know, I seen somebody up live, and I had to clean, so I'll turn it on, support someone who I like, and yeah. Wound up talking about the Mandela effect, which that's where we wound up last night, and how it's timelines. So I got that to sniff on for a while, follow that blood trail. So at least I got a path instead of just going in the rabbit hole, because I was scared of that. Just hopping in that darn Mandela rabbit hole is like 50 million ways in one. Which way do you go? How do you go about that, you know? Kind of thing. So here we are. So I'm just going to follow the whole timeline theory, I guess, and just go with that since it was right after. I mean, it seemed like it was laid out that way, so just like it was laid out that way in this book, you know, that you went right back to the beginning. So I guess what I'm supposed to learn is at the beginning. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. I'm just gonna keep reading the book until I figure it out. And hopefully I do. Keep reading more books. I got the Harmonica. I'll be watching Wayne on that one and letting him read to me, making that easier. And then I'm wanting to get the Egyptian Book of the Dead. URL, approved users, hidden users, blocked. But how do you do it? Automatically filter. These users can remove comments, which will appear. Oh, I gotta put your username channel in there. Okay, I get it. All right. It's easy enough, but you gotta have 2 windows open. That eats up a lot of stuff you gotta use for this. All right. It's been 16 minutes now. I'll wait just 4 more minutes, see if anybody else jumps in before I get started here on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. We're on book 2, the Sidpa Pardo, and that's going to lead us into what days after, how many days? I think it's like 12 days after, more than 12 days, or I can't remember. Good Lord. Too much information. 14th, yeah, it's somewhere like after the 14th or the 15th day. I think it's the 16th day and on. Pretty sure. Anyway, that's where we're at. Oh man, this is all confusing, all this YouTube stuff. And I feel so embarrassed in this room with reading. I don't feel comfortable. I've been out in the garage so long and just speaking freely, and here I am in the room and I get all quiet. I feel so weird. Let me make sure I didn't read this already. Nope, didn't read it yet. Well, I hope you've got your cup of joe. I already drank mine and now I'm on my soda. I only have 1 cup though. Cup that I warmed up. Let's see, who can we go to here? I'm just gonna pick. Bottle caps. Bottle caps, bottle caps, bottle caps. Bottle caps it is. Bottle caps. Let's see what Bottle Caps has for us. I'm doing it this way because I cannot record out of that computer for some reason. The driver won't let me, and that's why I couldn't play videos. It's because I got to messing with the driver and I messed it up. So here we are, we're doing this raw, and I'm not going to play all this. I just wanted to give you a taste. So it's a pilot cleanser. Really, that's what it looks like it would be, is a palate cleanser. So good stuff for whenever, you know, you get overloaded. And this, you know, like I've been getting overloaded. Lots of palate cleansing here going on. Check out this channel. Oh, sexy, sexy. Look at that. Oh, let's go on that one. You know what they say, sex sells, right? Let's see. Oh, you know what we got to do with this? Bam! We're just going to do that. That way I don't get copyrighted here. And we're not going to play a bunch of it. I just wanted to give you a taste. That's all. Just a taste. Oh, fat boy. Look at that. Look at that sexy baby. Oh, yeah. All right. That's enough possessions for one day. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll flip you over. I'm sorry if I'm making you sick. Okay, well, I guess we'll start. It's 20 minutes in. That's what I said. I meant what I say. Let me just face... Oh, and I got my Unity shirt on. Truth. Unity for Jay. Too bad it won't happen. And too bad it's going to happen to us. All of us. He's just the start. You know, that's just the doorway in there. So I'm wearing this because it's started. It's already started. It's been started. We all know it started, well, probably about half a week ago, if not more. But I mean, yeah, it started before, but you know, I'm talking about really like the timelines and stuff. And I noticed that with these electronics, and I think that's what's going on, is that they're using these timelines to mess with things and try to adjust them. Whenever you see your electronics messing up, that's them trying to mess with them. I think in like maybe, I don't know, like create like a different timeline out of it, like try to stop me from talking or stop her from talking, or you know, what have you, because I seen it with her yesterday with the timeline and the way it made the screen do that. And I remember that dude messing with me, and it just makes me think about that. Like, is it really timelines that they're using to screw with the electronics? It could be, because electricity could have a lot to do with timelines. You know? Could very well. Alright. Well, welcome. This is your channel. You can go up to the top and go into the channels I've collected in the process of all this wake up. Help me out to find people, to talk to people, to learn about powers that people had and powers that I had. Yeah, so go check it out. There's lots of people up there. I'm going to be showing them throughout the day here of my reading. I don't know how long I'm staying up. I'm just going to start reading until I have to do something else. And that's the way I'm working my life right now. Just do what I can, when I can, how I can. Okay, the Sid Pardo. The Sipah Bardo. Let me get my voice going here, because I'm a little bit embarrassed about, you know, being in this room, being caged up, you know, not having much room, and there's a door right behind me. Anybody could pop in on me, and hopefully they don't. Let me lock it. Thanks for reminding myself. There we go. I'm going to get as close as I can into you. That way my voice radiates through the speakers here, and you can hear very clearly instead of straining, you know, because I know how it is to be doing dishes and you can't hear somebody talk. I'm trying even with headphones on. Great, I got a shadow. Turn it. I wish I could find a different spot for that light. Get my hand out of the way. I am just not adjusted. There we go. There we go. Just had to turn the chair a little. Alright. This is known as the good head part of that called the profound essence of the liberation by hearing. The reminder, the clear setting face to face in the intermediate state when seeking rebirth. It has the awakening of faith, Suzuki's translation. It says the essence, it's like a little thing right here. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry, I'm not educated in that. I'll just read. The essence of all things is one and the same, perfectly calm and tranquil, and shows no sign of becoming ignorance. However, and this is in its blindness and delusion obvious of enlightenment, and on that account cannot recognize truthfully all those conditions, differences, activities which characterize the phenomena of the universe. Asvaghasha. Somewhat what I was feeling last night whenever I seen that video. The phenomena of the universe. Okay. Introductory sections. And I still didn't look up I'm gonna look up this word. I'm gonna look at these words now. I got this computer here, I'm gonna look them up. Oh, jeez, I thought I had a Google. Because this word keeps coming up and I got to know how to pronounce it now that I can have the time to. Oh, I forgot. I gotta turn up the sound. Turn it down for the live.
Obeisance.
Obeisance. Oh, I forgot. I gotta turn up the sound. Turn it down for the live. Obeisance. The obeisance. Obeisance. It's a word I never heard of. Obeisance. It's a new one for me. Obeisance. To the assembled deities. To the titularies, to the gurus, humbly and obeisance paid. May liberation in the intermediate state be vouchsafed by them. Introductory verses. Above in the great Bardo Thadal, the Bardo is called Kanyid, was taught. And now the Bardo called Sidpa, the vivid reminder is brought. Part 1. The After-Death World. Introductory instructions to the officiant. Although heretofore, while in the Kanyid Bardo, many vivid remindings have been given, setting aside those who have had great familiarity with the real truth and those who have had good karma. For them of evil karma who have had no familiarity, and for them the evil karma who is because of the influence thereof becomes stricken with fear and terror. Recognition is difficult. These go down to the 14th day, and to re-impress them vividly, to which follows is to be read. So we're still on the 14th day. Wow, that's a long 14th day. I tell you that. The 14th day must be pretty serious in the spiritual world. All right, here we go. The Bardo body, its birth, and its subnormal faculties Worship has been offered to the Trinity, and the prayer revoking the aid of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas having been recited, then call the deceased by name 3 or 7 times, speak thus: O nobly born, listen well, and bear at heart that birth in the hell world, the devil world, and in the Bardo body is of the kind called subnormal birth. Indeed, when thou wert experiencing the radiances of the peaceful and wrathful of the Kanya Bardo, being unable to recognize, thou didst faint away through fear about thee and 1/2 days after thy deceased. And then, when thou wert recovered from the swoon, thy knower must have risen upon its primordial condition, and a radiant body, reassembled the former body, must have sprung forth, as the Tantra says, having a body seemingly fleshy, resembling the former, and that of the to be produced, endowed with all sense faculties and power of the impeded motion, possessing karmic miraculous powers, visible to pure celestial eyes of Bordeaux beings of like nature. Such this is the teaching. That radiant body, thus referred to as resembling the former, and that to be produced, meaning that one will have the body just like the body of the flesh and blood, the former human propensity body, will also be endowed with certain signs and beauties of perfection, such as beings of high destiny possess. This body born of desire is a thought form hallucination. In the intermediate state, it is called desire body. At this time, if thou art to be born as a deva, visions of the world, of the deva world, will appear to thee, similar wherever thou art to be born. If as an Ashura, or a human being, or a brute, or a preta, or being in hell, a vision of the place will appear to thee. According to the word former in the quotations, implieth that prior to thee and the 1/2 days thou wilt have, thinking thou hast the same sort of body as the former body of flesh and blood, possessed by thee in thy former existence, because of habitual propensities. And the word produced is used because afterwards the vision of thy future placed of birth will appear to thee. Hence the expression as a whole, former, and that to be produced, refereth to these, i.e. the fleshy body just discarded, and the fleshy body to be assumed at rebirth. At that time follow not the visions which appear to thee. Be not attracted, be not weak. If through weakness thou be fond of it, thou wilt have to wander and miss the 6 lokas and suffer pain. Up to the other day, thou wert unable to recognize the Kanya Bardo, and hast had to wander down this far. Now if thou art to hold fast to the real truth, thou must allow the mind to rest undistractedly in the nothing to do, nothing to hold condition of the unobscured, primordial, bright, void state in thine intellect, to which thou hast been introduced by thy Gayu. Thereby thou wilt obtain liberation without having to enter the door of the womb. But if thou art unable to know thyself, then whosoever may be thy tuteria deities and thy gyru, meditate on them in the state of intense fondness and humble trust, as overshadowing the crown of the head. This is of great importance. Be not distracted. I'm going to reread this because I chopped that up because I'm just getting started. Sorry, I'm doing this for somebody, so I need to read it clear. Oh, this isn't a prayer anyway. Okay, that's cool. No, that is a prayer. I knew it was. Okay, all nobly born, listen thou, and bear at heart that birth in the hell world of the Deva world, of the devil world, and the Bardo body is of the kind called supernormal birth. I'm not going to reread it. I should. No, I meant it. I said what I meant. I just don't have my flow going yet, and I hate that whenever I don't have my flow going. Alright. Let's see. I want to reread some of that because the ending I didn't really get. I got it, but some of it was chopped up. Up to the other day, thou wert able to recognize the Kanyad Bardo, and hast had to wander down this far. Now it is thou art to hold fast to the real truth. Thou must allow the mind to rest undistractedly, and nothing to hold condition of the unobscured, primordial, bright, void state of thine intellect, to which thou hast been introduced by the Guru. Thereby thou wilt obtain liberation, without having to enter the door of the womb. But if thou art unable to know thyself, then whosoever may be thy tutelary deity and thy Guru, meditate on them in a state of intense fondness and humble trust, as overshadowing the crown of the head. And that is of great importance. Okay, instructions to the officiant again. Thus speak, and if recognition result from that, liberation will be obtained without need of wandering in the 6 lokas. If, however, though influenced of bad karma, recognition is made difficult upon, say as follows. O nobly born, again listen, endowed with all sense faculties, then the power of unimpeded emotion implieth that although thou mayest have been, when living, blind of the eye, or deaf, or lame, yet on the after-death plane thine eyes will see form, and thine ears will hear sound, and all the other sense organs of thine will be unimpaired, and very keen and complete, and very keen and complete. All the sense organs, so the taste, the everything. Wherefore the Bardo body hath been spoken of as endowed with all sense faculties, that condition of existence in which thou thyself now art, is an indication that thou art deceased and wandering in the bardo. Act so as to know this. Remember the teachings. Remember the teachings. O nobly born, unimpeded motion implieth to thy present body, being a desire body, thine intellect having been spread from its seat, is not a body of gross matter, so that now thou hast the power to go right through any rock mass, hills, boulders, earth, houses, and Mount Meru itself, without being impeded, excepting Buddha Gaya and the Mother's Room, even the King's Mountains, and we're on the miraculous power. Now, Mount Meru itself can be passed through by thee, straight forwards and backwards unimpededly. That too is an indication that thou art wandering in the Siddhar Bardo. Remember thy Gyru's teachings, and pray to the compassionate Lord. O nobly born, thou art actually endowed with the power of miraculous action, which is not, however, the fruit of any samhati, but a power come to thee naturally, and therefore it is of nature of karmic power, and thou art able in a moment to traverse the 4 continents round about Mount Meru. Or thee canst instantaneously arrive in whatever place thou wishest. Thou hast the power of reaching there within the time which a man taketh it to bend, or to stretch forth his hand. These various powers of illusion and of shape-shifting desire not. None is there of such powers, which thou mayest desire, which thou canst not exhibit. The ability to exercise them unimpeded exit in thee now. Know this and pray to the Guru. O nobly born, visible to the pure celestial eyes of like nature, implieth that those beings are like nature, being those of similar constitution or level of knowledge in the intermediate state will individually see each other. For example, those beings who are destined to be born among devas will see each other, and so on. Dote not on them. See by thee. Be meditate upon the compassionate one. Visible to pure celestial eyes also implieth that the devas, being born pure in virtue of merit, are visible to the pure celestial eyes, are those who practice dhyana. These will not see them at all times. When mentally concentrating upon them, they see them not. Sometimes even when practicing dhyana, they are liable to become distracted and not see them. Okay, that was confusing. Had to re-listen to that one. Characteristics of the existence in the intermediate state goes on to talk about the wind of karma. And we'll let that soak in for a minute, and I'll see about a shout out here. I give myself a minute through each one, that way I can intake, and maybe I'll understand it, as I sit here on it. I'm going to put on some music too. I think I ought to do that. So how do I find that? That's the question. Let's see if I can find it. I found it before. I think it was in the settings. In the help screen. Oh, come on. I'll check in the settings. You know what? I don't feel like looking through YouTube. They suck. Anyway, I'm just gonna go with the copyright and just go with my 1920s. I mean, hey. Just give somebody else my views. That's what I think of that. I'll give this to Casper. Here, I'll give him a shout out here because I don't want copyright issues. But so these are the people I'm going to be going to for this music. Anybody here? So whoever you see, the 1 hour of 1920s to 1930 music, Casper Politman, Lewis, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. If I get copyrighted for this, I don't care anymore. Jesus, I mean, what do you got to do? You gotta go to 1900s now. So I'm gonna stick this on and kind of like look around and see. I'm gonna pick out somebody from the YouTube channel here. See if anybody resonates. Come on, play. I gotta turn it up. It's like a little cartoon. I'm done yet. Oh, they left. They popped in and left. Okay. Okay, here we go. Turn this down. And we have Beauty Review Guideline. Beautiful cat. Key. I don't want to show all that. I'm on live. Of course, I'm distracted. Got some bubbles. She likes bubbles like me. She likes the bubbles. And what is this? Moisture milk. You learned about that. So, everybody, Beauty Review, a guideline. Has some beauty tips, maybe? I think. Who knows? Let me mute this. There we go. I think. Yeah. All right. All right. Back to me. Let me find another one. Hey, I like this way of doing the subscribers. It's kind of fun. Because, you know, I can take my time with it and show them like I like. Okay, let me pick. Here we go. Tell me when, stop. Dagger spells. I remember this trick. She's pretty good. And I'll let you find out what she's about. What she's about. What she's about. She's about the double rainbow. I'm not going to show it. No, not going to show you it. You got to go and see it for yourself. The double rainbow. The dagger spells. The double rainbow. But you gotta go see it yourself. She has all kinds of videos down here. So I just want to give Dagger Spells a shout out. I know I've seen a few of these videos here, especially in this playlist down here. I usually look at playlist because I'm usually looking for something in particular. And yeah, that's how it helps me out. I go through these, and if something, you know, if I'm looking like signs of changing planet, if I'm thinking about that, I'll go to that. I mean, but actually the note takes me to everywhere I need to go. So I'll pick out another one. One more. Let's see. When, stop. El Poda? Running. Looks like Spanish, maybe. Right on. We got some bilingual here. Right on. Elmar. All right, I'm not going to show it any more than that. You got a taste of it. And go to that one, and you can get a taste of this one. I'll go to the middle. It's probably the same. It's probably just palate cleansing. Yep. So we got palate cleansing and some spiritual stuff. And it looks like some meditation, maybe. Yeah, and yeah, there's some things in here. Yeah, definitely there's some goodies in here. I see it. It looks like meditation, and I don't know what that word means, but it looks like something that has to do with like mediums or something of that nature. So we got some bilingual. All right. Out of here. All right. So El Poeta Grunin is our bilingual site channel. That's cool. I guess it's not bilingual. That's how stupid I am. I'm thinking right. Not bilingual, but a different language. And I'm going to have to take you out with me because somebody wanted to see me. I'm going to carry you off. And I hope you don't mind going for a ride with me. But you can look at my shirt. It says Unity for Jay. Unless you wanted me to leave you here. I could leave you here. With yeah, I think I'll do that. I think he'd leave you with the 1920s music. And go see what he wanted really quick. You never know, it could be important. I have my door locked and I didn't want to open it on him. So I will just sit here with this, and I'll put this on a 125. Yeah, it's on 125. Good. That means I can't get copyrighted, right? Hopefully. Let me just turn it up for you. Please excuse me, and I will be right back. I apologize, but you know, life is life.
you're coming down the street. Now I ask you very confidently, say cheese, say cheese, nice. Look over once or twice. Now I ask you very confidently, say cheese, nice. Just have an eye in her direction. Oh, me, oh, my, ain't that perfection? My baby, don't think that kind of me. And I ask you very confidently. No one can see us rain. Leave us in the rain. There's a reason to complain. She'll wait for you to hold her hand. And then it's time to want you together in the rain. Rain, rain, rain.
Alright, sorry about that. But, duty calls. Alright, let's get back to it. Minimize that. The characteristics of existence in the intermediate state. Make sure you get close. O nobly born, the possessor of that of body will see places, familiar known on the earth plane, and relatives there as one seeth another in dreams. Thou seest thy relatives and connexions, and speakest to them, but receivest not no reply. Then seeing them and thy family weeping, thou thinkest, I am dead. What shall I do? And feeling great misery, just like a fish cast out of water on red-hot embers. Such misery thou wilt be experiencing at present, but feeling miserable will avail thee nothing now. If thou hast a divine guru, pray to him. You can pay him. Pray to the tutelary deity, the compassionate one, even though thou feelest attachment for thy relatives and connections, it will do thee no good. So be not attached. Pray to the compassionate Lord. Thou shalt not a sorrow, or a terror, or a awe. O nobly born, when thou art driven hither and thither by the ever-moving wind of karma, thine intellect, having no object upon which to rest, will be like a feather tossed about by the wind, riding on the horse of breath. Ceaselessly and involuntarily wilt thou be wandering about. To all those who are weeping thou wilt say, Here I am, weep not. But thy not hearing thee, thou wilt think, I am dead. And again, at that time, thou wilt be feeling very miserable. Be not miserable in that way. There will be a gray twilight-like light, both by night and by day, and at all times. In that kind of intermediate state, thou wilt be either for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 weeks, until the 49th day. It hath been said that ordinarily the miseries of the Sitpa Bardo are experienced for about 22 days. But because of the determining influence of karma, a fixed period is not assured. O nobly born, at about that time the fierce wind of karma, terrific and hard to endure, will drive thee onwards from behind in dreadful gust. Fear it not. That is thine own illusion. That just does not look like illusion. Think awesome darkness will appear in front of thee continually, from the midst of which there will come such terror, producing utterance as strike, slay, and similar threats. Fear these not. In other cases of persons of much evil karmically produce flesh-eating rakshas, or demons, bearing various weapons, will utter, strike, slay, and so on, making a frightful tumult. They will come upon one as in competing amongst themselves as to which of them should get hold of one. Apparitional illusions, too, of being pursued by various terrible beasts of prey will dawn. Snow, rain, darkness, fierce blasts of winds, and hallucinations of being pursued by many people likewise will come, and sounds of mountains crumbling down, and of the angry overflow seas, and of the roaring fire and fierce winds springing up. When these sounds come, one, being terrified by them, will flee before them in every direction, not caring whether one fleeth. By the way will be obstructed by the awful propensities, white, black, and red. There will be terror inspiring and deep, and one will feel as if one were about to fall down them. O nobly born, they will not really they are not really precipices. They are anger, lust, and stupidity. Now at this time, that is the Sitpa Bardo in which thou art, invoking by name the Compassionate One, pray earnest thus: O compassionate Lord, and my Guru, and my precious Trinity, suffer it not that I, so and so by name, fail into the unhappy worlds. Act so as I forget this not. Others who have accumulated merit and devoted themselves securely or sincerely to religion will experience various delightful pleasures and happiness and ease in full measure. But that class of natural beings who have neither earned merit nor created bad karma will experience neither pleasure nor pain, but a sort of colorless stupidity of indifference. O nobly born, whatever cometh in that manner, whatever delightful pleasures thou mayst experience, be not attracted by them, dot not on them. Think, may the Guru and the Trinity be worshipped, and these merits given delights. Abandon all dotings and hinkerings. Even though thou dost not experience pleasure or pain, but only difference, keep thine intellect in the undistracted state of the meditation upon great symbol, without thinking that thou art meditating. This is of vast importance. O nobly born at that time, at bridgeheads, in temples, by stupas of 8 kinds, thou wilt rest a little while, but thou wilt not be able to remain there very long. For thine intellect has been separated from thine earth-plane body. Because of this inability to loiter, thou oft times wilt feel perturbed and vexed and panic-stricken. At times thy knower will be dimmed, at times fleeing and incoherent. Thereupon this thought will occur to thee: alas, I am dead. What shall I do? And because of such thought, the knower will become saddened and the heart chilled, and thou wilt experience infinite misery of sorrow. Since thou canst not rest in any one place, and feel impelled to go on, think not of various things. Be allowed the intellect to abide in its own unmodified state. As to food, only that which hath been dedicated to thee can be partaken by thee, and no other food. As the friends at this time, there would be no certainty. These are the indications of the wandering about on the Sipar Bado of the mental body. At the time, happiness and misery will depend upon karma. Thou wilt see thine own home, the attendants, relatives, and the corpse, and think, now I am dead. What shall I do? And being oppressed with intense sorrow, the thought will occur to thee, oh, what will I give to possess a body? And so thinking, thou wilt be wandering hither and thither, seeking a body. Even though couldst enter thy dead body 9 times over, owing to the long interval which thou hast passed in this Kanya Bardo, it will have been frozen in winter, been decomposed of it in summer, or otherwise thy relatives will have cremated it, or interred it, or thrown it into the water, or given it to the birds or beasts of prey. Therefore, finding no place for thyself to enter into, thou wilt be dissatisfied and have a sensation of being squeezed into cracks and crevices amidst the rocks and boulders. The experience of this sort of misery occurs in the intermediate state when seeking rebirth. Even though thou seekest a body, thou wilt gain nothing but trouble. Put aside the desire for a body, and permit thy mind to abide in the state of recognition, and act so as to abide herein. By thus being set face to face, one obtaineth liberation from the Bardo. The judgment. Instructions for the officiant, to the officiant. Yet again, it may be possible that because of influence of bad karma, one will not recognize even thus. Therefore call on the deceased's name and speak as follows. O nobly born, so and so, listen. That thou art suffering so cometh from thine own karma. It is not due to any one else's. It is by thy own karma. Accordingly, pray earnestly to the precious Trinity that will protect thee. If thou neither prayest nor knowest how to meditate upon the great symbol, nor upon any tutelary deity, the good genius who is born simultaneously with thee, will come now and count out thy good deeds with white pebbles, and the evil genius who was born simultaneously with thee will come and count out thy evil deeds with black pebbles. Thereupon thou wilt be greatly frightened, awed, and terrified, and wilt tremble. And thou wilt attempt to tell lies, saying, I have not committed any evil deed. Then the Lord of Death will say, I will consult the mirror of karma. So saying, he will look in the mirror wherein every good and evil act is vividly reflected. Lying will be no avail. Then one of the executive furies of the Lord of Death will place thy neck a rope and drag thee along. He will cut off thy head, extract thy heart, pull out the intestines, lick up the brain, drink the blood, eat the flesh, and gnaw thy bones. But thou wilt be incapable of dying. Although thy body be hacked to pieces, it will revive again. The repeated hacking will cause intense pain and torture. Even at the time that the pebbles are being counted out, be not frightened nor terrified. No lies, tell no lies, or fear not the Lord of Death. Thy body, being a mental body, is incapable of dying, even through beheaded and quartered. In reality, thy body is of nature of voidness. Thou needst not be afraid. Sorry, just trying to get it so you can see it, because there's a lot of detail in there and it's hardly seeable. Put this in. Oh. into the mantra of Kinrisi, Mani Padme Hum. That's what it says on the back of that picture. Described on page something something. Another form, but we're still in the same area. Like it's just continuing. We're still in the judgment, but it says something about the mantra. That right there. But it still continues. So it says, "The Lord of Death are thy own hallucinations. Thy desire body is a body of propensity and void. Voidness cannot injure voidness. The qualityless cannot injure the qualityless. Apart from one's own hallucination, in reality there are no such things existed outside oneself as Lord of Death, or God, or demon, or the bull-headed spirit of death. Act so as to recognize this. At this time, act so as to recognize that thou art in the bardo. Meditate upon the samadhi of the great symbol. If thou dost not know how to meditate, then merely analyze with care the real nature of what is being, that which is frightening me. In reality, it is not formed into anything, but it is a voidness which is the Dharmakaya. That voidness is not the nature of the voidness of nothingness, but a voidness of the true nature of which thou feelest awed, and before which thine intellect shineth clearly and more lucidly. That is the state of mind of the Samhagakaya. In that state wherein thou art existing, there is being experienced by thee in an unbearable intensity, voidness and brightness inseparable. The voidness bright by nature, and the brightness by nature void, and the brightness inseparable from the voidness, the state of the primordial or unmodified intellect, which is the Adhikaya. And the power of this shining unobstructedly will radiate everywhere in its Nirmana Kaya. O nobly born, listen unto me undistractedly. May I merely recognize the four Kayas. Thou art certain to obtain perfect emancipation in any of them. Be not distracted. The line of demarcation between Buddhas and sentient beings lieth herein. This moment is one of great importance. If thou shouldst be distracted now, it will require innumerable eons of time for thee to come out of quagmire of misery. Giggity, giggity, goo! A saying, the truth in which is applicable is, in the moment of time, a marked differentiation is created. In a moment of time, perfect enlightenment is obtained. To the moment in which hath just passed, all this bardo hath been a dawning upon thee, and yet thou hast not recognized, because of being distracted. On this account, thou hast experienced all fear and terror. Shouldn't thou become distracted now, the cord of the divine compassion of compassionate eyes will break, and thou wilt go into the place from which there is no immediate liberation. Therefore, be careful, even though thou hast not recognized this, despite thus being set face to face, thou wilt recognize and obtain liberation here. Instructions to the officiant. If it be an illiterate bore who knoweth not how to meditate, then say this. I need to mentally say this person's name. O nobly born, if thou knowest not now thus to meditate, act so as to remember the compassionate one of the Sangha of Dharma and the Buddha, and pray. Think of all these fears and terrifying apparitions of being thine own tutelary deity, or as the compassionate one. Bring to thy recollection the mystic name that hath been given to thee at the time of thy sacred initiation, when thou wert human being, and thy name of thy Guru, and tell them to the righteous King of the Lord of Death. Even though thou hast fallen down propensities, thou wilt not be hurt. Avoid awe and terror. The all-determining influence of thought is next. Let's see how much I read here. I'm going to take a small little break here. Maybe I'll take you outside. Yeah, I think I'll take you outside and we'll enjoy some of the day here. And we'll pick up on the book here in a minute. We'll let it sink in. I'll just take you for my ride. Here we go. Unless you rather watch TV. I'd rather watch the day go by. And all jobs coming in. Well, there's jobs coming in, but they're all too much for me to handle. Demo work, and can't do all that anymore. I hope nobody comes down. Go out on the front porch here. Out there, and he'll want to talk. I don't feel like going through all that. Give me one moment. Ooh, it's chilly out here. It's chilly willy. So I hope you're having a good day, whoever you are, you little observer, you. Beautiful. It looks so fake, doesn't it? And I'm seeing like orangish colors in there, and yesterday I'd seen purple in the sky. It's probably just me because I'm getting more aware or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know, I just see like these orange like waves of color in like the cloud over there. Can't really see it on, I can see it a little on the blue, but it's not, it's very faint. It's chilly. slept most of the day away because I was up all night thinking about that Stephen Mandela. It tripped me out. Couldn't stop thinking about it. I was up until like, I think it was 9 this morning, and then I finally went to sleep. I think it might have even been later than that. It's a beautiful day. It's just chilly. Hey, there's the sugar. It's the sugar. You want to say hi, sugar? You want to say hi? Oops. She's calling Daddy. So, oops. Come here, sugar. You want to see? Hey, you want to say hi? Say hi. Good girl. She stinks. All dogs stink. All right, get down. That's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. Get down. Now she won't leave me alone. I don't really know what to say about all that in the dimensional. I thought of that. I thought that. But then I thought for sure it'd be CERN. Maybe it is. Maybe it's CERN and, you know, like all the CERNs mixed, you know. I know that there's more than one CERN and that's stupid. But that one CERN, the big one, and the HAARP, I really thought it'd be that to mix together. Like they opened some kind of portal and it messed up. And it still could be that, you know. But then I don't know. All this Mandela seems like it's a good thing because it's waking people up, you know. People are looking at it like, what the heck? It's weird. And they start looking within themselves after that. Like, you know, that is weird. Let me take that and look at that a little bit more. So I think it might have been a good thing. So it could be a good deity. You never know. I'm going to look into it. I am going to look into it. I'm going to look more into these deities here in this book on my own time. And see about that, and maybe even see in other books, you know, and recognize that I see that, and take it to the other books, see what the other books have to say, because they may have a timeline of something else, you know, that's similar, or I don't know how that works. It's trippy the way it brought me back to the beginning. I wonder if everybody else is experiencing that too, of it going back.
So.
Not much. Yeah. My boy. My older son. Okay, everybody walking by. Howdy. My boy. My two favorite men. It's nice to see. A little bit of my creation in both of them. I hope you can't hear that music. I'm trying to cover it up. I don't want to get copyrighted, but then I want to finish. I'm going to put it out because I don't want to get copyrighted. Because then it'll make me delete part of my stream. I don't like that. Silence it or whatever. They want to silence me. They can't silence me. It was just a little piece of the song, so now I'll get copyrighted for it. Alright. Lock this door. And turn off this air. I got him nuts. I still have him in the air. But he could just get so moist in this room from that fish tank. See? The fishy tank. It's so moist in here from that. I might get it another fishy, I think. That one's just so lonely. I feel so bad for him. And he survived so long. He deserves a mate. Some kind. Yep, I gotta straighten out the unity. Unity for Jay. But that ain't gonna happen. That'll never happen now, I don't think. I'll probably just start over and recycle us. Hopefully everybody's with it. But if not, we'll guide them. Right? Now, where am I at? Oh yeah. I'm on 169. All-determining influence of thought. The all-determining influence of thought. After the judgment, the wind of karma. Alright. Instructions to the officiant. Saying that for by such setting face to face, despite the previous non-liberation, liberation ought surely be obtained here. Possibly, however, liberation may not be attained even after that setting face to face. The earnest and continued application being essential, again calling the deceased by name, speaks as follows. Speaking his name, hang on. Hey, Second Wheel, I'm Nunya. Welcome to your channel. We are reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. We just got done with the Judgment, the Wind of Karma, and let's see here, the Miraculous Powers, and we're in the Sidpa Ordo. And if all else fails, it's saying, and the person does not recognize yet, we're on the prayer for that, and I just had to put a name in there for myself, for somebody. O nobly born, thy immediate experiences, let me make sure you're not saying something there, okay, will be a momentary joys, will be of, let me start over. O nobly born, thy immediate experiences will be of momentary joys, followed by momentary sorrows of great intensity, like that taught and relaxed mechanical actions of catapults. Be not the least attached to the joys, nor displeased by sorrows of that. If thou art to be born on a higher plane, the vision of that higher plane will be dawning upon thee. Thy living relatives may be way of dedication for the benefit of the deceased. Be sacrificing many animals and performing religious ceremonies and giving alms, thou because thy vision not being purified. Mayest be inclined to grow very angry at their actions and bring about, and thus at this moment, thy birth in hell. Whatever those be left behind thee may be doing, act thou so that not angry thought can arise to thee, and meditate upon love for them. Love the hate. Furthermore, even if thou feelest attached to the worldly gods thou hast left behind, or because seeing such worldly goods of thine in the possession of other people, and being enjoyed by them, thou shalt feel attached to them through weakness, and feel angry by the successors. That feeling will affect the psychological moment in such a way that even though thou wert destined to be born on the higher and happier planes, thou wilt be obliged or obligated, thus will be obliged to be born in hell, or in the world of the Predis, or unhappy ghost. On the other hand, even if thou art attached to the worldly goods left behind, thou wilt not be able to possess them, and they will be no use to thee. Therefore, abandon weaknesses and attached for them. Cast them away wholly. Renounce them from thy heart. No matter who may be enjoying thy worldly goods, have no feeling of miserlessness, but be prepared to renounce them willingly. Think that thou art offering them to the precious deity and to thy guru, and abide in the feeling of unattached, devoid of weakness, of desire. Going into the direction of thought, make sure you're not saying anything. Again, when the recitation of the Kamkani mantra is being made on thy behalf, of a funeral rite, or when any rite for the absolving of bad karmas liable to bring about thy birth in lower regions. Let me reread. Chop that up. Again, with any recitation of the Kamkani mantra is being made on thy behalf as a funeral rite, or when any rite for the dissolving of bad karma liable to bring about thy birth in lower regions is being performed for thee. The sight of their being conducted in an incorrect way, mixed up with sleep and distraction and non-observance of the vows and lack of purity on the part of any officiant, and such things indicating levity, all of which thou wilt be able to see because thou art endowed with the limited karma power of prescience. Thou mayst feel lack of faith and entire disbelief in thy religion. Thou wilt be able to apprehend any fear or fright and black actions, irreligious conduct, and incorrect recited rituals. In thy mind thou mayst think, alas, they are indeed playing me false. Thinking thus, thou wilt be extremely depressed, and now great resentment. Thou wilt acquire disbelief and loss of faith instead of affection and humble trustfulness. This affection, the psychological moment, thou wilt be certain to be born in one of the miserable states. Such thought will not only be of one use to thee, but will be the great harm. However incorrect the ritual and improper the conduct of the priest performing thy ritual rises, think, what mine own thoughts must be impure. How can it be possible that words of the Buddha should be incorrect? It is like reflection of the blemishes of mine on face, which I see in the mirror. Mine own thoughts must indeed be impure. As these, i.e. the priest, the Sangha is their body, the Dharma, I guess that's who's talking through me through some of this. Because sometimes I feel like somebody else is speaking, trying to help me through this. For all these, i.e. the priest, the Sangha is in their body, the Dharma, their utterance, and in their mind, they are the Buddha in reality. I will take refuge in them, and I do. Thus thinking, put thy trust in them, and exercise sincere love towards them. Then whatever is done for thee by those left behind will truly be thy benefit. Therefore, the exercise of love is much of importance. Do not forget this. Again, even if thou wert to be born in one of the miserable states, and the light of the miserable state shone upon thee, yet by the successor of thy relatives performing white, religious rites unmixed with evil actions, and the abbats and learning priests devoting themselves, body, speech, and mind, to the performance and the correct meritorious rituals, the delight from the feeling greatly cheered at seeing them will, by its own virtue, so affect the psychological moment that even though thou deservest a birth in unhappy states, there will be brought about thy birth on a higher and happier plane. Good. Therefore, thou shouldest not create impious thoughts, but exercise pure affection and humble faith towards all impartiality. This is of high importance. Hence, be extremely careful. O nobly born, to sum up, thy present intellect and the intermediate state having no form, object wherein to depend, being a little weight and continuously in motion, however thought occurs to thee now, be it pious or impious, will wield great power. Therefore, think not in thy mind of impious things, but recall any devotional exercise, or if thou wert unaccustomed to any such exercise, show forth pure affection and humble faith. Pray to the compassionate one, or to thy tutelary deities. With full resolve utter this prayer. Alas, while wandering alone, separate from loving friends, when the vacuous, reflected body of thine own mental ideas dawneth upon me, may the Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the Buddha. When experiencing misery through the power of evil karma, may the tutelary deities dispel the miseries. When 1,000 thunders of the sound of reality reverberate, may they all sounds of the 6 syllables. When the karma follows without there being any protector, may the compassionate one protect thee, or protect me, I pray. When experiencing the sorrows of karmic propensities here, may the radiance of happy, clear light of the Samadhi shine upon me. Earnest prayer in this form will ensure to guide thee along. Thou mayst rest assured that thou wilt not be deceived. Of great importance is this. Through that being recited, again, recollection cometh, and recognition and liberation will be achieved. I'm going to reread that 7 times. I hope you don't mind, but it's important. I feel it. It's important. And it says if you mean it, you read it 7 times. So that's what I'm doing. I believe it. I'm doing it. You can always come back. I'll hold up the book and I'll try to indicate that I'm ready to move on to the dawning of the light of the 6 lokas. I'll hold the book up like this. If you wanted to, leave and come back, it's fine. I'm sorry, but I have to. Alas, while wandering alone, separated from loving friends, when the vacuous, reflected body of thine own mental ideas dawneth upon me, may the Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the bardo. When experiencing misery through the power of evil karma, may the tutelary deity dispel the misery. When the 1,000 thunders of the sound of reality reverberate, may thy all be sounds of the 6 syllables. When karma flows without there being any protector, may the compassion one protect me, I pray. When experiencing the sorrows of karmic propensities here, may the radiant of happy, clear light of the Samadhi shine upon me. Earnest prayer in this form will assure the guide thee. Thou mayst rest assured that thou wilt not be deceived. Of great importance is this, though that being recited again, recollective cometh, the recognition and liberation will be achieved. Alas, while wandering alone, separated from loving friends, when the vacuous reflective body of mine own mental ideas dawneth upon me, may the Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the bardo. When experiencing misery through the power of evil karma, may the tutelary deities dispel the miseries. When the 1,000 thunders of the sound of reality reverberate, may thy all sounds of the 6 syllables. When karma follows without there being any protector, may the compassionate one protect thee, I pray. When experiencing the sorrow of karmic propensities here, may the radiance of happy, clear light of the Samadhi shine upon me. Earnest prayer in this form will be a sure guide to thee along. Thou mayst rest assured that thou wilt not be deceived. Of great importance is this, thou that being recited again 7 times. 4. Alas, while wandering alone, separated from loving friends, when the vacuous reflected body of thy own mental ideas dawneth upon thee, may Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the bardo. When experiencing miseries through the prayer of evil karma, may the tutelary deities dispel the miseries. When the 1,000 thunders of sound of reality reverberate, may they all be sounds of the 6 syllables. When karma follows without being any protector, may the compassionate one protect me, thee, I pray. When experiencing the sorrows of karmic propensities here, may the radiant of the happy, clear light of the Samahi shine upon me. Earnest prayer in this form will sure the guide thee along. Thou mayest rest assured that thou wilt not be deceived. Of great importance this is, to be recited 5th time. Alas, while wandering alone, separated from loving friends, when the vivacious, reflected body of thy own mental ideas dawneth upon thee, may the Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the bardo. When experiencing miseries through the power of evil karma, may the tutelary deities dispel the miseries. When 1,000 thunders of the sound of reality reverberate, may all sounds of the 6 syllables. When karma follows without there being any protector, may the compassionate one protect thee, I pray. When experiencing the sorrows of karmic propensities here, my radiance of happy, clear light of Samadhi shine upon thee. It says me, but I'm saying thee because I'm praying this to someone else and I'm hoping that they're hearing it. I think they are. Earnest prayer in this form will ensure to guide thee. Thou mayst rest assured that thou wilt not be deceived. This is of great importance. 6th time. Alas, while wandering alone, separate from loving friends, when the vivacious, reflected body of thy own mental ideas dawneth upon thee, may the Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the bardo. When experiencing misery through power of evil karma, may the tutelary deities dispel the miseries. When the 1,000 thunders of sound of reality reverberate, may they all be sounds of the 6 syllables. When karma follows without being any protector, may the compassionate one protect thee, I pray. When experiencing the sorrows of karmic propensities here, may the radiance of happiness, clear light of Samadhi shine upon thee. Earnest prayer in this form will assure to guide thee along. Thou may rest assured that thou wilt not be deceived. Of great importance, 7 times. 7, 7, 7. Alas, while wandering alone, separated from loving friends, when the vivacious, reflected body of thine own mental ideas dawneth upon thee, may the Buddhas, vouchsafing their power of compassion, grant that there shall be no fear, awe, or terror in the bardo. When experiencing misery through the power of evil karma, may the tutelary deities dispel the miseries. When the 1,000 thunders of sound of reality reverberate, may they all be sounds of the 6 syllables. When the karma flows without being any protector, may the compassionate one protect me, I pray. When experiencing the sorrow of karmic propensities here, when experiencing the sorrows of karmic propensity here, follow me. May the radiance of the happy, clear light of Samadhi shine upon thee. Mean it. Don't be deceived. Let it go. Okay. Any questions? No. Welcome to your channel. I'm Nunya. I made this channel for the community who are experiencing a wake-up call to the reality of what is. I came here because I was put here to welcome you and create. So I'm creating myself through this channel. I created this channel in response to that, to be able to help people find their way through this experience easier than what I did. It's a very loving community here that they have going on, that they've been working on for a very long time. I suggest that you hit the Luna Ash's channel, Clairvoyant. I'll give her a shout out real quick. One second, let me find her here. Got a lot of people in here now. It's a Luna Ash. You should check her out. I suggest it. Way back here. I can find that video. Hang on. It's time for us to move along in this, and she has something here to coordinate us, if I can find it. There it is right there. I'm not going to play it because you're going to have to go and find out, but it's called the Re-Upload Discord Server Soul Family Chat Room. They've been working from that for quite a while, and I can say, you know, from my feeling about it, it's been a long time coming for this, and apparently they got it together in this Discord channel, and so I would highly suggest going to her video and checking that out and seeing how to get involved in that, because we're all going to have to communicate at some point or another in this to be able to talk and communicate like we're on a phone instead of live feeds like this, because it's hard to type out what you're trying to say because your electronics are probably going wonky like mine, where everything I say turns out wrong in a chat. Try very carefully not to let that happen. Whenever I send it out, I take a look at it again, because autocorrect is there and it will autocorrect you and make you look dumb or perverted or like a troll. So we have a Luna Ash here. Another important one I would have to say would be Global Witness. They are doing something as well. I cannot do this. I can't just go and leave where I'm at, but you may be able to, you may want to. Hang on, I gotta wait for it to load. Where's he at? There he is. Global Witness. He has a very good theory. Darn it. Hey there, Derek. There's this one video. You want to wake somebody up, show them this video, man. It's called Virus. Of course I can't find it. As you can see, he has lots of videos. But he is really good. And, sorry, I'm holding the camera upward. You can't see the screen, probably. Oh, where is it at? I like showing you the pictures. That way you know what to look for in there. That way you're not struggling. But instead, now I'm live struggling. I thought it was right around in here. Anyway, it was called Virus, and they could have took it down. I mean, the guy does speak an awful lot of truth in his videos, so, and this was pretty big, a pretty big video as far as truth goes, and what they're going to do to us and what they're trying to do to us. But, you know, they're so stupid that they don't realize that we evolved. We're human beings. That we evolved to viruses, that the virus won't last very long, and then what are you going to do after that whenever we come after you with all our love power? I mean, really, your negative is going to explode at that point. We come to you, and you die. You know, we're just going to surround you with our love, and you're going to have to suffer with that negativity that you created for yourself. I mean, sorry, I just had to say that. I feel bad for these people, these bad people. I can't find it. It might have been taken down. It might have been taken down. They might have took it down. It was about them and chemtrails and what they're doing with the chemtrails. So anyway, that's my shout out. Oops. Sorry. That was my shout out to a few people in between the book and me reading this book. Thought I'd give it a break. And I'm ready to read now. Ready to read. The dawning of the light of the six locusts. Make sure nobody said anything there. The instructions to the officiant. Yet though this instruction be so oft repeated, if recognition be difficult because of the influence of evil karma, much benefit will come from repeating these setting face to face many times over. Once more, then call the deceased by name and speak as follows. O nobly born, if thou hast been unable to apprehend the above, therefore, the body of the past life, when become more and more dim, and the body of the future life will become more and more clear. Saddened at this, thou wilt think, oh, what misery I am undergoing. Now whatever body I am to get, I shall go and seek it. So thinking, thou wilt be going hither and thither, ceaselessly and distractedly. Then there will shine upon thee the lights of the six Sahara locusts. The light of the place wherein thou art to be born, through power of karma, will shine most prominently. O nobly born, listen. If thou desirest to know what those six lights are, there will shine upon thee a dull white light from the Diva world, a great green light from the Ashura world, a dull yellow light from the human world, a dull blue light from the brute world, a dull red light from the predator world, and a smoke-colored light from the hell world. At that time, be the power of karma. Thine own body will partake in the color of the light of the place wherein thou art to be born. O nobly born, the special art of these teachings is especially important at this moment. Whichever light shineth upon thee now, meditate upon it as being the compassionate one. From whatever place the light cometh, consider that place to be, or to exist in, the compassionate one. This is an exceedingly profound art. It will prevent birth, or whosoever thy tutelary deity may be. Meditate upon the form for much time, as being apparent yet non-existent in reality, like a form reproduced by a magician. That is called the pure illusory. That will be called the pure illusory form. Then let the visualization of the tutelary deity melt away from the extremities, till nothing at all remaineth visible of it. And put thyself in the state of the clearness and the voidness, which thou canst not conceive as something, and abide in the state for a while. Again meditate upon tutelary deity, again meditate upon the clear light. Do this alternately. Afterward, allow thine own intellect also melt away, gradually beginning from the extremities. Wherever the ether pervadeth, consciousness pervadeth. Wherever consciousness pervadeth, the Dharmakaya pervadeth. Abide tranquility in the uncreated state of the Dharmakaya. In that state, birth will be obstructed and perfect enlightenment gained. Vital teachings. And Larry, go in there, hear it 7 times. Hear me 7 times. It's too late for me to repeat everything. I don't have time, I'm sorry. So just go in there, somebody will watch it, and they'll repeat it. So just do it. Vital teachings. Part 2. The process of rebirth. The closing of the door of the womb. Instructions of officiant. Again, if through the great weakness and devotion and lack of familiarity, one not be able to understand, illusion may overcome one, and one will wander to the doors of wombs. The instructions for the closing of the womb door becometh very important. Call the deceased by name and say this: O nobly born, if thou hast not understood the above, at this moment, through the influence of karma, thou wilt have the impression that thou art either ascending or moving along on a level, or going downwards. Thereupon meditate upon the Compassionate One. Remember, then as said above, gust of wind, and icy blasts, hail storms, and darkness, and impressions of being pursued by many people will come upon thee. One fleeing from these hallucinations, those who are endowed with the meritorious karma will have the impression of fleeing into places of misery. Those who are endowed with the meritorious karma will have the impression of arriving in places of happiness. Thereupon, O nobly born, in whatever continent or place thou art to be born, the signs of that born place will shine upon thee then. For this moment, there are several vital profounding teachings. Listen undistractedly. Even though thou hast not apprehended by the above setting face to face, here thou wilt, because even those who are very weak in devotion will recognize the signs. Therefore listen. Instructions for the officiant. Now it is very important to employ the methods of closing the womb door. Wherefore, it is necessary to exercise the utmost care. There are 2 chief ways of closing. Preventing of the being who would enter from being... There are 2 chief ways of closing. Preventing the being who would enter from entering, and closing the womb door which might be entered. Now we're on the Bordeaux of seeking truth, one pointedless mind. Going into the pointedless mind. And we got this much to go. I think. Pretty sure of. So I'll probably cut it here pretty soon and then come back. Not right now, just letting you know. Pretty soon I'll be cutting it and coming back. I'm gonna let that soak in for a minute. This is hard. I'm hungry. Okay, here we go. The first method of closing the womb door. Oh, wait a minute, I need to reappear. Method of preventing entry into the womb. The instructions for preventing the being from entering are thus. O nobly born, Larry Bird, whosoever may have been thy tutelary deity, tranquility, meditate upon him, as upon the reflection of the moon in the water, apparent yet not existent as a moon, like a magically produced illusion. If thou hast no special tutelary, meditate upon either the compassionate Lord or upon me, and with this in mind, meditate tranquilly. Then causing the visualized form of the tutelary deity to melt away from the extremities, meditate without any thought forming upon the vacuous clear light. This is of a very profound art. In virtue of it, a womb is not entered. The first method of closing the womb door. In that manner, meditate. But even though this is found inadequate to prevent thee from entering into a womb, and if thou findest thyself ready to enter into one, then there is the profound teaching of closing the womb door. Listen thou unto it. When at this time, alas, the Sidpa Bardo is dawning upon itself, holding in mind one single resolution. Persist in joining up the chain of good karma. Close up the womb door and remember the opposition. This is the time when earnest and pure love are necessary. Abandon jealousy and meditate upon the Guru, Father, and Mother. Repeat this from thy own mouth distinctively and remember its meaning vividly and meditate upon it. The putting of this into practice is essential. The significance of the above teaching, when at this time in the Sidpa Bardo is a dawning upon me and upon oneself, is that now thou art wandering in the Sidpa Bardo. As a sign of this, if thou lookest into the water or into the mirrors, thou wilt see no reflection of thy face or body, nor doth thy body cast any shadow. Thou hast disregarded now thy gross material body and flesh and blood. These are the indications that thou art wandering about the Sidpa Bardo. At this time, thou must form without any distractions. One single resolved in thy mind. The forming of one single resolve is very important now. It's like being directed to the course of a horse by the use of its reins. Whatever thou dearest or whatever thou desirest will come to pass. Think not upon the evil actions which might turn the course of thine own mind. Remember thy spiritual relationship with the reader of this Bardo Vidal me. Remember? Or with any form, one form, whom thou hast received teachings, initiations, or spiritual authorizations for reading religious text while in human world, or persevere in the going on with good acts. This is very essential. Be not distracted. The boundary line between going upward or going downward is here now. If thou givest away to indecision for even a second, thou wilt have to suffer misery for a long, long time. This is a moment. Hold fast to one single purpose. Persistently join up the chain of good acts. Thou hast come now to a time of closing the womb door. This is a time of earnest and pure love are necessary, which implieth that now the time hath come when first of all the womb door, should be closed. There begin 5 methods of closing. Bear this well at heart. Second method of closing the womb door. O nobly born, at this time thou wilt see visions, or males or females in union. When thou seest them, remember to withhold thyself from going in between them. Regarding the father and mother as thy guru, and the Divine Mother, meditate upon them and bow down. Humbly exercise thy faith. Offer up mental worship with great fervency, and resolve that thou wilt request of them religious guidance. By that resolution alone, the womb ought certainly be closed. But if it is not closed even by that, and thou findest thyself ready to enter it, meditate upon the divine Guru, Father, Mother, as upon any tutelary deity, or upon the compassionate tutelary of the Shakti, and meditate upon them. Worship them with mental offerings. Resolve earnestly that thou wilt request of them a boon. By this the womb door ought to be closed. The third method of closing the womb door. Still, if it not be closed even by that, and thou findest thyself ready to enter the womb, the third method of the repelling attachment and repulsion is hereby shown unto thee. There are 4 kinds of birth: birth by egg, birth by womb, supernormal birth, and birth by heat and moisture. Amongst these 4, birth by egg, birth by womb, agree in character. As above said, division of males and females in the union will appear. If at that time one entereth into the womb, through the feeling of attachment and repulsion, one may be born either as a horse, a fowl, a dog, or a human being. If about to be born as a male, the feeling is of itself being a male dawneth upon the knower, and the feeling of intense hatred toward the father and of jealousy and attraction toward the mother is begotten. If about to be born as a female, the feeling of itself being a female dawneth upon the knower, and the feeling of intense hatred toward the mother, of the intense attraction and fondness towards the father, is to be begotten. Through this secondary cause, when entering upon the path of the ether, just at the moment when the sperm and the ovum are about to unite, the knower experiences the bliss of the simultaneously born state, during which state it fainteth away into unconsciousness. Afterward it findeth itself encased in the oval form, in the embryonic state, and upon emerging from the womb and opening its eyes, it may find itself transformed into a young dog. Formerly it has been a human being, but now if it has become a dog, it findeth itself undergoing suffering in a dog's kennel, or perhaps as a young pig in a pigsty, or as an ant in an anthill, or an insect, or a grub in a hole, or a calf, or a kid, or a lamb, from which shape there is no immediate returning. Dumbness, stupidity, miserable intellectual obscurity are suffered, and a variety of suffering experienced. In like manner, one may wander into hell, or into the world of unhappy ghosts, or throughout the 6 lokas, and endured unconceivable miseries. Those who are ferociously inclined towards this, i.e. samsaric existence, or those who do not at heart fear it. O dreadful, alas! And those who have not received a guru's teaching will fall down into the precipices of depths of the samsara in this manner, and suffer interminably and unbearably. Rather than meet with a like fate, listen thou unto my words, and bear these teachings of mine at heart. Reject the feeling of attraction and repulsion, and remember one method of closing the womb door, which I am going to show thee. Close the door, and remember the opposition. This is the time when earnestness and pure love are necessary. As hath been said, abandon jealousy and meditate upon the Guru, Father, Mother. As above explained, if the born as a male, attraction toward the mother and repulsion toward the father, and if it born as a female, attraction towards the father and repulsion towards the mother, toward the feeling of jealousy for one or the other, which ariseth, will dawn upon thee. For that time there is a profound teaching. O nobly born, when the attraction of repulsion arise, meditate as follows. Alas, what a being of evil karma I am, that I have wandered in the samsara hitherto, hath been a wig to its traction and repulsion. If I still go on feeling attraction and repulsion, then I shall wander in endless samsara and suffer an ocean of misery for a long, long time by sinking therein. Now I must not act through attraction and repulsion. Alas, for me, henceforth, I will never act through attraction and repulsion. Meditating thus, resolve firmly that thou wilt hold on to that resolution. It hath been said in the Tantras, the door of the womb will be closed up by that alone. O nobly one, do not be distracted. Hold thy mind one appointed upon that resolution. The fourth method of closing that womb door. Whew! 2.5 almost. I guess I'll be done with this. Let's see how many doors. Looks like this might be the last one. Just want to peek ahead, that way I know where to stop. Yeah. Okay, so I've finished reading Closing of the Doors, and I'll be done with it for now, and I'll come back in a little while and read some more. I'll eat and get myself, into it, and then I'll come back and I'll be back. The fourth method of closing the womb door. Again, even if the doth not close the womb, and one findeth oneself ready to enter the womb, then by means of teaching called the untrue of the illusionary, of the illusory. I don't know why I keep thinking that's illusionary. The untrue and the illusory, the womb, I think that's how you pronounce it. Illusory. The womb should be closed. That is to be meditated as follows. O the pair, the father and the mother, the black rain, the storm blast, the clashing sounds, the terrifying apparitions, and all the phenomena are, in their true natural illusions. However, they may appear, no truth is there in them. All substances are unreal and false. Like dreams and like apparitions are they. They are not permanent. They have no fixity. What advantage is there in being attached to them? What advantage is there in having fear and terror of them? It is the seeing of the non-existence as the existence. All these are hallucinations of the mind, of one's own mind. The illusory mind itself doth not exist from eternity. Therefore, where should these external phenomena exist? I, by not having understood these things in that way, hitherto, not understanding these way, have held the non-existence to be existent, the unreal to be the real, the illusory to be the actual, and have wandered in the samsara so long. And even now, if I do not recognize them to be illusions, then wandering in the samsara for long ages I shall be, certain to fall into the morass of various miseries. Indeed, all these are like dreams, like hallucinations, like echoes, like the cities of the odor eaters, like mirage, like mirrored forms, like I don't even know, like the moon seen in water, not real even for a moment. In truth, they are unreal. They are false. By holding one pointedly to that train of thought, the belief that they are real is dissipated, and the being impressed upon the inner continuity of consciousness, one turneth backwards. In the knowledge of the unreality, be impression deeply in that way, the womb door will be closed. The fifth method of closing the womb door. Still, even when this is done, if the holding phenomena as real remaineth undissolved, the womb door is not closed, and if one to be ready to enter the womb thereupon, one should close the womb door by meditating upon the clear light. This being the fifth method, the meditation is performed as follows. Lo, all substances are mine own mind, and this mine is consciousness, is unborn, is unceasing. Thus, meditating allows the mind to rest in the uncreated state, like, for example, the pouring of water into water. The mind should be allowed its own easy mental posture in its natural or unmodified condition, clear and vibrant. By maintaining this relaxed, uncreated state of mind, the womb doors of the four kinds of birth are sure to be closed. Meditate thus until the closing is successfully accomplished. Instructions to the officiant. Many profound teachings for closing the womb door have been given. It is impossible that they should not liberate people of the highest average and the lowest intellectual capacity. If it be asked why this should be so, it's because, firstly, the consciousness in the bardo possessing supernormal power of perception of a limited kind, whatever is spoken to one, this is apprehended. Secondly, because through formerly deaf or blind, here at this time, all one's faculties are perfect, and one can hear whatever is addressed to one. Thirdly, being continually pursued by awe and terror, one thinketh what is best, and being alertly conscious, one is always coming to hear whatever may be told to one. Since consciousness is without a prop, it immediately goeth to whatever place the mind directeth. Fourthly, it is easy to direct it. The memory is ninefold more lucid than before. Even through stupid before, at this time, by the workings of karma, the intellect becometh exceedingly clear and capable of meditating whatever is thought to it. Hence, the answer is, it is because it, i.e. the knower, possesseth these virtues, that the performance of funeral rites should be efficacious is likewise because of that reason. Therefore, their perseverance in the reading of the great Bardo Thedal for 49 days is the utmost importance. Even if not liberated at one setting face to face, one ought to be liberated at another. This is why so many different settings face to face are necessary. Now I'm going to save closing other windows. I'm going to go eat, check out some channels, and then I'll be back. And I was going to say, I appreciate you coming. I seen it went blank. I appreciate you coming and listening, and I hope that helped you or somebody that you love out. If you have a loved one that passed over, I would suggest just replaying this 7 times, because that's what I'm going to do. I don't have time to keep reading all this stuff, so I'm just going to replay it, and hopefully that helps the person I'm trying to help out. And like I said, you know, if people keep watching and this keeps replaying, and other beings hear it, and maybe other beings will cross, or maybe they can go into the video, and you know, like all the spirits that are lost, just like come into these videos, into our channel here, and go into my shows, and go into the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and find your way through these videos. People listen and they'll replay them, and now we'll bring it up thrice for you. So I highly suggest just riding the flow into here. Oops, sorry. Riding the flow right into here, and just following the path there. It'll lead you to other videos, I believe. I believe that there might be a connection in there somehow that you can maneuver. But I will be back soon. I'm going to go eat and maybe catch up on some more videos here and watch them fast. So I can get through a lot, you know, in one sitting. And hopefully I see some shout outs and I'll point them out to you. But so far, that Flora was the only shout out I can think of, really, because that pertained to exactly what I'm reading here and where it directed me to. The beginning of the Mandela effect. So I guess I'll be looking at that after I get done reading this and going into a different book. Don't know which one yet. I know the Hermetica is coming, but I won't be reading that one here. I'm just going to go to Wayne's channel because he's already read it and he talks you through it. So I'll be going there to do that one. And I do have the Egyptian Book of the Dead to do, a yoga brief book, and yeah, so I got a lot of things I got to do. And I still got to work on this computer so I can record on there, so I can do the subscription of the day that way. But until then, I'm not going to mess with that computer unless I feel I'm happy doing it, because I'm not going to put myself there. It's aggravating. At least I got it up to where I can play these videos and fast forward, and you know, like at a 2, and I can get right through them and be knowledgeable of the people out there who are in this community. That way I can express to people more about what everyone's doing. And I'll just keep doing it the way I'm doing it for now. I think it's fine. I think it'll be alright. But stick with me and see where I go, I guess. I'm going back to the beginning, and that's the Mandela effect, the big old rabbit hole. But I don't have to dive very deep, I don't think, because like I had stated, in case you didn't catch, like I stated, last night after I got out of here into the live, another live came up, and it was Fleur Braun, and it was her live stream earlier today, and she was talking about, you know, Mandela effect and about it being a time thing. So maybe I ought to look at that angle and go about it with fresh new eyes. So I'm going to do it that way, and we'll see what comes out of it. And I appreciate you coming, and thank you, and we love you. Please feel free to go up and check the channels. They're yours. I collected them for you. Worked really hard to find them people, most of those people. Now Positive Movement people, I just pulled hers. I didn't care. Like, they were all good, and they were all so food, you know, and stuff, and they just looked good, and she looked like she knew what she was doing with her welcoming, and so I just pulled all her people, and so I need to get to know those people, and I'm going to do that. And yeah, by all means, go check them out. You can find something really great for yourself. You there. You got one up there. Or for anyone else who's watching, you know. But just know that our community, and we all love you, and I love you, and have fun, be safe, and everything that you do. Don't pay attention to that stuff. It's all... If I can get it turned off. There we go. Bye.